Yo, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to do an updated video, or not an updated video, I'm sorry. I had to do another video here on RMO because I tried to make a video here recently, and for some reason it was in slow motion, and I'm sure if anyone did watch it, they heard that. If not, it is what it is. So, this video on RMO. So, there's a couple things that I want to go over here. This is something that I have actually been playing here a little bit on these swings. Obviously, actually, I'm just looking at this now here on RMO. So, you know, I want to keep this in mind as well here because this is on the 30-minute here. So, but I want to talk about this thing because whether or not it's a good play or not, this is going to actually be a deciding factor right now. I actually did enter this thing today, so I'm going to show you something that, and the reason why I entered this and everything like that. So basically, delete some of this stuff. I already went over a lot of these trend lines in the first initial video that I did. So if you watch some of my recent videos here, we're discussing how a lot of stocks right now are in falling wedges here, and we are getting breakouts of them here. So you know, today, as we're getting a bounce on the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ and everything like that. So with this guy here, it's been in a brutal downtrend here. So I'm trying to decide here, is this the time when it starts rolling up here and actually showing some signs of life and structure again? Because, you know, let's take a look at how this thing has been, right? So obviously it had a very deep, steep breakdown. It had a blow off top here, had a pattern here that it initially broke out of here. There wasn't too much you know, price action here to go by, and it had an insane swing all the way up, right, with very minimal falling channels, falling wedges here, and then spikes, dips, blah 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 blah, and it went all the way up. Then it had a crazy blow off top way up here, 38.75, and pretty much has dropped since. So this is a battery company. So, and actually the battery company, my buddy is the one that told me about this company here. And he was doing some research and he was like, this thing is actually really dope if you do a video. I mean, if you do some research on the company, and they have a lot of contracts with people and everything like that. So we're all very surprised that this thing is doing what it's doing. But, you know, that's what happens when you have blow off tops sometimes. So needless to say, you know, we looked for potential entries in the $16 range, and obviously, you know, our 16, this range here as support with stop losses below, and it didn't look so good to me, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get the fuck out here. So you know, I dipped once I started trying to position myself somewhere around here, but obviously that was terrible idea. And you know, so then I looked at the downside targets here, and you know, I did have a breakdown here of 1077. Because this support was not able to hold here, and then you know, we were getting some fake outs here. Thought we were buying the dip perfectly, and then shot up here. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah. I played this swing here, shot up here, and it came back down. Kind of was thinking it'd be a double bottom, and nope, bye. So needless to say, here it's been ever since, right? So, you know, basically bear flag after bear flag, and then all these, like, you know, potential buybacks, and then dips and dips. So now we're in this big falling channel, so, or falling wedge. So this is why we have to be a little cautious on this thing, of course, because you've seen what's going on. So what we want to look at here is, this is the support that I found here, based off of past history here, and running it all the way across this big wick that came down here, and then as well as low as that 1275, and then below that obviously is 1225. And I did buy some 1225 based off of well, wasn't based off of my support zone, but I believe I bought some in this candle here, 1225 somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get the exact bottom, but I got, like, you know, right here or so when we got above this wick, roughly got that close, and it looked pretty good to enter somewhere. Maybe it was this candle here, I don't know. Either way, one of these two candles here. So I did kind of make a small purchase right around here. And you know, we had this beautiful run up here, and I did close a position here. So, could I have been holding it longer? Of course I could have, right? So what I did today, though, was, although I closed this, maybe I don't know if it was a couple days ago or if it was last week. What's this, March 1st? Oh, so maybe I closed that today. So I think I might have closed it today, actually, if today is March 1st. And then I looked at the chart, right? Because I was like, I should probably just sell this thing off. It's probably just a sell the rip type of scenario here. So anyway, I ended up re-entering again. And I went a little bit larger on my purchase here. So I entered in this candle. Actually, this isn't on the hourly here, so hold on a second. I entered in this here because although I sold this off here, I ended up re-entering when we had this dip here because I was starting to look at the volume coming in, and I was like, wow, we have some good volume here. This setup here that I missed, I kind of screwed up by missing this. This is kind of more of a bullish setup right there if you look at it in that sense. And, probably shouldn't have sold that rip, but I don't really care. So I re-entered somewhere on this 1273, I think. So I have a stop loss below, and I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get stopped out down in the 1250 if we do come back down there, and that's perfectly fine. But needless to say, you can see right here what we're creating right here. A beautiful bullish pennant. So, the breakout of this bullish pennant here, I mean, you could go all the way down here, but let's just go by this flag here. This pole here, rather. This is like a bull pennant, right? Kind of looks like it. We'll do the conservative target and then this extended target here. So if it's a bull pennant, you have a target of 1389. Let me throw the Ichimoku cloud because I love looking at that. Okay, so that's going to give us a broad range of, something pretty crucial right here. This is actually interesting to see. So if this was a small, pennant, right, the pennant would be the size of this here. And it's always straight down, never at an angle. So if we got a break here and an hourly close above here, which I'm going to show you something pretty cool that I'm seeing right now too. That smaller breakout, 1351, the larger breakout, 1389. But, looking at this as it is, right, this is your resistance cloud here. Now look at the target here, 1495, okay? That's lining up perfectly with this red resistance if we were to shoot straight up right here, right? But if we'd, if we just kind of ladder our way up here, get rejected, retest this pattern, come back up, maybe get rejected, make a double bottom, maybe shoot up a little higher, so on and so forth, right? So we could do anything of that sense, but for now, we're going to look at this pennant here, and we're going to look at where we would play this and how we would play this. So the first thing I want to look at on the hourly here is this purple Ichimoku cloud support here. Now, of course, the spinning top sometimes can signal a downside, right? Because we know what spinning tops mean, and we could have gotten this being an 8 candle and then this being a 9 flash, which could have signaled downside. But we actually reset the RSI so far, or the candles right here, and we got a 1. And you can see the volume coming in here. So, there's a couple different ways. I mean, I like to look at this as a pennant here. Now, what else could we look at it as? Because obviously we have our noticeable resistance and our noticeable support. That's the best thing about a spinning top, is it shows both ways, right? So you could, I mean, to me, that's how I would like to do it. But I guess we could, sorry, I'm just kind of doing this on the fly here, changing up some shit. So could we look at it? And I just want to look at both ways, just to be cautious here as well. So we're going to look at both sides of the coin here on this hourly. So I want to look at it as not only because, not everything is going to be super bullish here, but we're going to look at both sides. So if we're going to look at it as a pennant, either way, it's both resistance probably is the same. So if this was a rising channel, okay, but I like the fact that we broke up with so much power, and even to me on the RSI, it does sort of right here look like it could be making like a flag of some sort. But we got to look at some other things too, just to make sure we're not just... So if you look at the RSI here on the hourly, though, based off of this here, right, we want to look at this as well, though. So I'm going to look at this for myself too, because I'm in this play now. So this could actually be a rising wedge now that I'm looking at it. But Let's look at the breakdown target of this if this was a rising wedge here. And, you know, a rising wedge can break up and it can break down. So, you know, we'll have to see how this works out. But let's look at the lower support, and we'll look at the upper resistance here. And, I mean, you can play the breakout of a rising channel as well, as long as you get that confirmation that it's breaking up. So a break out of this rising channel, right, would if this is what it is and not a pennant, would be 1335, which you're going to get some rejection here potentially. So, I mean, if you are going to make a quick swing here on this, unless you're going to long it here and keep your stop loss below, you could do that as well. But you could do a short swing here, probably up to like 1330 wouldn't be too bad. We'll look at some fib retrace. Actually, yes, I memorized the fibs on this one. 1330 is actually a fib retracement level, so that actually makes clear sense. And we would want to get support above that 1330 as well if we get this breakout. Now, if we get a breakdown, and this is a rising channel, or a rising wedge, not a channel because it's got the point. If we were to get a breakdown here, your breakdown would probably go to 1268, and you could go as low as 1263 here on this white, right? So as of right now, looking at this on the hourly, we have bearish divergence right now, okay? Because we're higher up here on the right, lower on the higher up here on the left, lower down here on the right. And on the hourly here, we're higher on the right, lower on the left. So that's something to keep in mind. And we're getting resistance on this upper. Makes sense though, right? Because this is our rising channel here, and this is our upper resistance. So a break of that can bring us up higher and break and cancel out the bearish divergence if we continue up. And then obviously a break of the lower support would bring us back down to the bottom here. But to me, the bottom here isn't going to be as little as the bottom here. So it's going to be a lower target there. So what we're going to do here, because like I said, I'm in this play. I entered on this candle here at 1273 actually, or 1224, because it was kind of hovering around here between this 1284, 12, you know, jumping back down to 1275. I think I got it at 1275. And then it was coming back up, and then I made a post on TradingView saying that if we broke above and got an hourly close above 1290, that I would you could enter here, and we did get that hourly close above here, and we've continued to stay above here. So, right here you have resistance. As of right now, let's look at the next hourly candle here. So your resistance of the top of this trend you'd want to get above is 1307, but you have to remember this green cloud here is at 1309. So you might want to wait for an hourly close above this, maybe 1311, and look for this continuation of this volume here, right? And that would probably be your safest bet, because if you think about it here, getting up above here, I mean, you could go really, really safe and wait here above like 1330, get an hourly close up here in this fib level here, because of course if you get an hourly close above this here, we have a good break here, but we don't know how it's going to react, whether it's going to get stopped at this 1330 or what. But for me, I would probably enter with an hourly close here if the following candle, like say a nice good candle comes up here, closes, the next candle opens, we'll see how it reacts, and if it closes above this area, it might be at 1330 on the next opening candle, who knows. But what's the difference between 30 cents, really? You know what I mean? Better to be safe than sorry. So you have a couple different options there to close above the 1330 or above that, and I'm getting 1330, and I'm going to show you exactly where I'm getting that from here. And I don't remember if I went off of let me go from this wick way down here and go to this wick up here. And we're going to take a look here. And let me just make sure I'm lined up perfectly, because I want to make sure these fibs are exact here. So if we look at this wick here, 1382. So I need to come up a little bit higher on that one, which would probably make sense where I got my 1382. And that'll be lined up right with that, right? That's how I like to do these, because I like to be exact. I mean, it's okay to be a little bit below, obviously. 1380, so it's just because I'm like way over here. Normally I would just do it right up to it, so you don't have to fuck around like I'm doing right now, but I'm kind of hovering 5 feet away from the goddamn thing. So And then, you know, our low down here is 1157. So we're lined up with that wick, and we're going off of this wick here. So you can kind of see what's going on here based off of these fibs here on the hourly. So 1295, which is exactly where we are. We did actually, although we have a spinning top here, you know, which sometimes could signal a downside, like I said, but sometimes it just signals indecision here, right? Because you still continued to go up even with these. And, you know, it makes sense. People would be undecided. Why wouldn't you be undecided? Look at this goddamn trend. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, there's going to be indecision on which way is this thing going to go. Is it going to dump on me? Am I going to go up? Am I going to go down? Like, what's going on here? I want to play these, and I want it to go up because it looks fucking bullish, but is it bullish? Is it going to drop on my ass? I don't know. So that's why we're going to use stop losses, of course. So the stop loss position here is below this trend line here, and you could see where you could put your stop loss, especially now, because this wick here is following this trend line to the T. And that's why I use thicker trend lines. If I use a really skinny trend line here, and like I put it right below my little skinny dinky fucking trend line, and the wick comes down below, guess who stopped out? Me. And you don't have to go exactly below, but below it is 1284. And then in the next hour below it would be 1288, or this fib. Oh wait, that's not a fib. Well, 1288, because that's also my support right here, right? My support is 1288. So for me, I'm gonna put a trend line anywhere below here, like 1280, maybe 1275, something like that. I mean, you can go 1284 if you want, but for me, I would probably go right below this right here. 1284 sounds good. That would be my stop loss, even if I entered up here. I mean, you could put a stop loss here as well. If you get a confirmed breakout, though, right? You get your confirmed breakout here, you can just put your stop loss right here and be safe, or below this point. So maybe say that you enter right here with an hourly, you get an hourly close above this 13.8. This RSI is coming up here really nicely. You notice a nice spike on this MACD. It's starting to turn up. No signs of us going down anymore. You can actually enter right there. That's how I would do it. I would probably enter there with confirmation here at like 1308, or right above here 1311 maybe, if we're confirming this shit and we get that hourly close, we get a nice big volume again. You could enter somewhere around there, and then you could run it up and expect that we're going to get resistance somewhere between 1330, 1327, something like that. Now, of course, it can just wick up there. It can come up here, right? Come back down here, retest this, and then come back up, go higher, come back, so on and so forth. You can do all kinds of different things that we can't call right now. But all I can tell you is my breakout target if we do break out of here. So that's kind of like what I would do. I would play it either confirmation above this or confirmation above this. Because if you do, in fact, get a breakout of here and then you get rejected here and come back down and then just fall right through and it was a fake out, then it was kind of a waste of time just to play, you know, from a 1311 to 1327, if that makes any sense. So you could even just wait until you see confirmation and this thing's holding an hourly close and you got volume and there's no TD9 flashes, there's no bearish divergence, and your RSI isn't like, you know, if you look on your hourly and your RSI isn't way up here or something fucking ridiculous, you know what I mean? Then you can be like, okay, if it's still like just going like this, like say we're up at 1330 and you see this, that's a good sign because you're breaking above this trend line here. So, you know, those are the kind of things that I'm looking for when I'm playing any type of like small swings, small breakouts, whatever. So, you know, that's where we're at right here. This thing could come to the downside as well. So we want to look at both sides of this coin here. So I don't remember if I went over it, but I'm going to go over it one more time here. If this is a rising channel, oh, I have the breakout right there, or breakdown right there. 1268. It lands right on the 50% Fibonacci level, actually, perfectly. 1268. So that could be your downside. And you know, whether or not that continues down, you don't just buy it there because it broke down there and you go, oh, he said 1268, right? Because you don't want to buy something that's breaking down here most of the time. I mean, you could buy it and you could play it back up to here or something like that, knowing that it might, if it bounces here, it might go back to here. But what's, you know, 20 cents, and it's not really worth the risk. So for me, that would be my entry. Like I said, I got in somewhere over here, 1275 or something like that. And I'm probably just going to keep my stop loss, like I said, probably maybe, I don't know yet where I'm going to keep it. I think think I don't even have one set right now, but I'll take a look at it later. I feel pretty good about this right now. So entry either at 13:30 or 13:12. Let's look at the 4 hour real quick. I know I just rambled my head off here. So one thing we can look at here actually is this 4 hour here. Where's my RSI? So as you see on the 4 hour here, it's showing that we're starting to get this break right here on the RSI above this trend line, if this is of significant right here. But obviously, it's rolling a little bit. Let's look at the MACD. And look at our MACD. We just got a bullish MACD cross on the 4 hour as well. So, and we have this green TD9 flash that we got a while back. Now, this could have been... Yeah, this might have been affected by that green TD9 flash already here, right? So we got a bounce off this 1204.786, and it looks like 2 candles came down actually. Let's look at the let's look at this real quick. Delay. Yep. So we pretty much had 2 candles that came down there roughly, and now we're starting to get this break. So we did get a 4 hour close above this level. So if you do see it coming back down and back testing this 1288, like I said, I would play the breakout. But looking at the 4 hour here, if we do open here right around 1294 and we get an hourly close below 1290, then it's pretty much, to me, that would be a confirmation most likely that it's going to head back down to 1268 or even 1242 again. So that's pretty much your play. I mean, to me, the safest play really is following one of those few things that we just went over here. But, I mean, I like the upside targets here that we have. So that's where I'm kind of like looking at with this thing. And knowing that it was like a $30 stock, I mean, yeah, you can look at that. But to me, I'm just kind of looking at like shorter term. What are we looking like? And just going off of the shorter term here, you know, as long as you get some confirmation up in this level here, we could be looking pretty good. I like this confirmation we're getting here, but I'm also in down here. So, you know, for me looking at that, I'm going, okay, this looks good, this looks good. But we could at any point dump back down here because you see this is very significant area. Anywhere from this 1288 to this 1295 is very, very crucial area here because you can see what happens when we fall through it. We fall pretty drastically and usually, you know, we don't catch much support below. So, you know, you can see on the hourly, though, we did have that beautiful green TD9 flash right there. So that was great. And then we had this bullish setup there with the candles there. So it's just something to keep in mind. I like playing little breakout trades, and I'm liking all of these stocks here that are breaking out here. But, you know, it's just we have to be careful, too, because things can happen. So that's why I'm just talking about confirmations and areas to watch here before you actually decide to put any money on it. And this might not even be of interest to you because, you know, maybe you have other stocks in mind that you like. So this is just something that I'm playing around with and something that I found. And sometimes I like to get in these stocks right here that are, you know, if you notice on my channel, I have a lot of stocks that you see me playing around with that have these like downtrends like this, right? You see me like trying to figure out like, is this thing buying back? Is this coming back? And shit like that. And I've caught a couple, and then I've been wrong on a couple too, you know. So, and it's very hard to figure out for sure. But I mean, look at that confirmation on the daily. To me, yeah, we got a spinning top here, but like I've said prior though, right? You get that candle. That's a big motherfucking fat candle. But you know the candle we're talking about. If you don't know, you got to check some videos. Looks like that. What do you want to call that thing? We're going to have a name for this candle. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. There's got to be a name for it. I don't know. The cupcake or some shit, you know? I don't know. Tell me below if you guys have an idea of what the fuck we're going to call that candle there. So it looks just, there you go. It looks just like this thing right here. So this is the candle that you'd want to see on the daily. And it doesn't have to be that fucking juicy and fat either. It could be half the body of that. But it's just, the main thing is having this flat bottom, having a nice thick body, and then a wick. So that's what we're looking for. And that is a confirmation of a trend reversal to the upside. So this thing is why I'm looking at this thing, because what if we're catching this thing right as it's getting ready to confirm? And that's what we need to find out. So maybe tomorrow is just a day to wait, be safe, check it out, see how we close, and then look into this thing the following day. Because if we get that confirmation there, then that's pretty good. So, that's the first sign of the green. This is the first green candle this thing's gotten in how fucking long? You know what I'm saying? So, it could go either way on us here, right? So that's what we have to figure out. Now, what is this saying that we got closed at? Why is it saying 1289? Because we didn't close at 1289, did we? I don't know why it's showing me that. So that's something to keep in mind too. Where the hell did we close at? Somebody, if you guys know when we closed out here, that would be great. Did we close at 1303? I don't know. I got to look into that though too, because that's huge as well. But that's going to mean a lot, because if we did close at 1303, I don't know. I don't think we did though, right? We probably closed at 1295. So okay, so that's fine though. But as of right now, we closed below this 1303 box here, right? So true. Okay. All right. So I'm getting all excited here, maybe for nothing, because I just realized something here. It doesn't matter yet, but just keep your eye on it, because it might not be as bullish as I'm thinking right now. I just got all amped up for nothing, and then I realized we didn't close. We closed above a nice fib level, but we didn't get a close above this 1304 on the daily. We've only been wicking above. So, really? Well, there you go. This is going to be a decent confirmation here to show we want to get an hourly candle close above this 1305, and it's going to look just like this. So, wick up, close, next candle, retest, right? Even if it runs up and down, who cares? Closes, that's your confirmation. This candle you enter. And like you see here, we have some resistance above, and then it fell back down, so that's why you're and it's pretty much a breakout trade of this, really. So, but do the same thing with this. So maybe 1308 too. And then just look for that confirmation here. And then just put your stop loss right below this line. 13, you could put it at 13 even, you could put it at 12.99. And, if it does in fact roll over here, like say it runs all the way up to our potential targets here that we have, you can either long it from there, which I would long it from there personally. I would just long it here. I would take the risk of it might come back down and stop me out here at 12.99. And even still, if it's continuing to run, you could put your stop loss break even, let it keep running. If it does continue to run, you could at some point move your stop loss below 13.28. Now you move your stop loss into some profits here, maybe below these two wicks here, something like that. Maybe at 13.13, stop loss is moved up. Now you're in profits. If it keeps running, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this is going to, but I'm just saying that's how you just play things in general. So as of right now, this could be a rising channel, could be getting bullish for nothing. But I do like this breakout of this. It doesn't have to hit the exact target that we have, but it could. And this is my target up here over the course of like a few weeks. You know what I mean? So that's it. If you guys like this, please hit the like button. Be safe out there. Make sure you're only trading confirmations if you are doing trading. And look for those volumes supported. Don't get wrecked here. I do like that volume, though. That looks beautiful. And this is a potential trade setup. Just only trade it if it's confirmed here, because, like I said, we could completely dump here too as well. But if not, this is going to be a pretty profitable trade here. So that's it, guys.